Hey, what's up, AJT fam? I hope you guys had a great day. I'm gonna tell you, my day started out really bad, and it took me a minute to get over. Okay, it took me a minute to get over this. Everybody knows, I use Thinkorswim for charting. I don't trade on Thinkorswim. I use it for charting. And I was trading out of my TD Ameritrade account on DOS, but they started to transition, so my account was transitioned from TD Ameritrade to Schwab. So I have to wait until Schwab gets the gateway up with DOS before I can start trading again, using that account. So I come in today, I can't get in Thinkorswim. It's telling me that my login credentials don't work. And it's the same thing I've been using for 12 years with TD Ameritrade, but whatever. So it takes me, I fight with this thing for over an hour. I finally get to Schwab and they put me on with the transition specialist. They get me fixed up. And I'm telling him I never got any notification from Schwab. No email, no call, no text, nothing. The only way I knew my account was being transitioned was through DOS. DOS was the only one to send me this saying that my account was being transitioned and I couldn't use it to trade. Until, Schwab gets their gateway, and then everything will be back up. So I was like, okay, supposedly it was supposed to be done by the end of the month. So I'm like, I get on the phone with Schwab, finally get a transition specialist, and he tells me, log into my TD Ameritrade account. I should have a message there. I log in, no message. It's just like there's nothing wrong with my TD account, but it's supposedly been transferred. So we walk through all of that. I finally get my login. I log in to schwab.com and find out, okay, how you'll no longer have access to TD Ameritrade platforms, and your accounts will be unavailable during transition weekend. That's not till November 3rd. So, and Monday, November 6th is when supposedly I could log in. I don't even know if it's going to be ready at DOS by then. Doesn't say anything about DOS, but it's frustrating. So I started the day out really frustrated with this because nobody from Schwab even contacted me. I had to contact them, which is crap. And then started out, luckily this wasn't that good of a trading day to where I missed out. Well, actually it was. And I probably did miss out on a good trade. And we'll start out talking about that one first. So, so now I vented from this morning, but it just took me a long time to work through that anger and frustration. So let's start out with NVDA. NVDA was the trade today. This was the stop to trade the opening range. You can see 5-minute opening range low. You could have even taken this on a pre-market low break. I mean, you could have even gotten it here. But you might have gotten stopped out if you got it on the first candlestick. But if you waited for the 5-minute opening range, that was perfect. And unfortunately, I did have some traders, a couple of traders get stopped out here because they had their stop too tight. I don't teach this. I do not teach you holding your stop too tight. Look, if you're not at the point where you're willing to risk, that you can accept risk, you shouldn't be trading. it's going to end badly for you. So these stocks that we trade can make $10 moves. You can't sit here and put in a 25 or 50-cent stop and think you're going to make $10. It doesn't work that way. So a couple of guys got stopped out, got mad because they missed this huge move. Don't blame it on me. I've taught you how to do this. I've taught you how to determine how much room you need, how to look for the next level of resistance above your technical level so that you know where your max stop has to be outside of. You have your max stop inside this window, you're wrong. Okay, you're dead wrong. So if you don't understand that, you need to, like I told you guys that I talked to today, you need to schedule a mentor session so we can go over this. And you could get this clean in your mind. But most of you guys nailed this trade. This was a $10 move from entry trigger, all the way down. It's damn near a $10 move. Absolutely beautiful without any pullbacks. Without any pullbacks. But you see, I didn't trade this until, it actually covered and we took out the pre-market high. I was a little bit late getting in, at least by $1. But I did get a base hit and it pulled back and stopped me out at break even. And then I got back in it here as we were coming back over this 468.70 level. But it didn't quite get to 470, which is my first target, and it rolled back over. I'm still holding on to this. If it holds support going into the night, I'll probably hold it overnight and look for a gap up in the morning. But if it does give me something back to break even or close, I'm just going to bail out on it. Just doesn't even make sense. But I am going to hold it for a little while through aftermarket and, see what happens with this. So the next trade, and the trade I took was on Meta. This is why I missed NVDA, because I was watching Meta. Plus, I was late getting in. I wasn't ready to go when the market opened. That was another big issue. So I bought here on the breakout, had to hold through some garbage. Here it never closed and lost this support, all of this support. The technical level, it still never lost the technical level. Here's where it closed, here's where the low, it never took out the low. So, it turned around, ended up taking profit here. It pulled back, ended up getting back in, adding back to this, and it just didn't work. I did hold this a little too long. Should have been out up here, and I held it all the way down, just holding it to the max loss, which was dumb. Technically, it told me to get out up here. But hey, that's a mistake I made. And then I get in it long, and well, actually I shorted it again. I somehow flipped it short and just bailed out of this because I was just stupid. And then I bought it and got profit here, added back here, just nailed some profit targets up through here, and then ended up taking it off here. This was my profit stop on the last piece. So this last trade, I was able to nail some profit and just kind of take care of the loss that I had right here. So this was a profit maker, and this was a big profit maker. So everything worked out. I had that one bad trade, but getting my head back screwed on straight, focusing on what I needed to focus on, I was able to make this thing back. You guys that went in the live trading classroom this morning, you guys know how messed up my head was. It took every ounce of me not to go on this profanity-laced tirade. That's just how angry I was. And it's because this stuff caught me off guard. And then the fact that these guys never contacted me and kind of prevented me from taking advantage of what the market gives us. But we are on the backside of earnings. The market's going to be a little bit slow. It's going to be a little bit choppy. Volume's going to be down. We're going to get the full effects of some summertime trading. How do we adjust? How do we improvise, adapt, and overcome market conditions? Okay, we don't change our strategy. We don't change our strategy. We change how we execute it. So we're going to take, smaller profits. We're going to take profits quicker to make sure that we do get locked in. And, we're going to wait more for confirmation. I mean, these are small adjustments that we make to our strategy. So we're not making wholesale changes to the strategy. We're putting ourselves in a position so that we can take whatever the market gives us. All right, so that's our focus. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for me. No earnings today. No aftermarket earnings hit the scan. We're done. Like I said, I'm gonna leave this NVDA on. We'll see what it does through the aftermarket. You never know. There more times than you know. We've had something happen in the market at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and it rips up. And if it does that, I'm in good shape. But we'll see. It's still holding support. That's all I'm looking for. But you guys have a safe evening. We'll be back at this thing tomorrow. I'm doing the same thing, same time, same place. Y'all have a good evening.